Hi, my name's James and I'm going to take you through Virteasy editor and how to create the STL file directly from a DICOM. So we're going to use the implantology feature. Here we can set up the example name of the exercise and we can add the image later. Into the instructions we can give instructions to the student and we can choose our pictures. So here for instance, let me go into my picture diary and we've got one here of microendodontics. When we move to the creation, I'm going to take an example DICOM that I already had. And you see the 3D section is empty at the moment, and that's because we've not got the STL. We could import one if we had it ready from an intraoral scan, for instance, but we don't, so we're going to use the thresholding feature to create our own. So you see here, I've got an STL, but it's very, very noisy. So I'm just going to open this up a little bit more. And the idea is just to play around with the thresholding. And so you want to get rid of some of the floating specs. And this looks fairly good for what we need it already. So I'm just going to go confirm segmentation. And then we can crop it. So it's the bottom jaw that is of interest to me. So a little bit like Photoshop, I'm just going to bring this down. So I've only got the bottom jaw here and then click crop. You can do this multiple times. So if you need to fiddle around with it, don't worry about that. That's looking fairly good. And then on the DICOM, you see these little gaps in the scan. So that's where it's emptied the middle of it. So we've also got a feature called fill holes, and that will try its best to basically complete the STL. So you see here now the teeth round about where we're working, there's no gaps in there, and that's what we want to see. So nice solid STL coming through. And then that's our visuals, that's what we're going to see. And then for Virteasy, we want the haptic solid as well. So this is like the voxelization of it so that we can provide a haptic feedback. So I'm going to put the whole zone here, click crop and accept the segmentation. Then you see this part is going to go blue. So this is the part we can actually do the drilling with the haptic arm, but we'll still see the rest of the jaw, so it looks very realistic. We click OK here at the bottom, and then I'm going to use this snapshot for the exercise. So you'll see that back in step 1 for the overview. Now, if you wanted to, you could go in and do the planning for the implant as well. But here, just very quickly, you can change the assessment rubric. You can change the toolkit that's available to the students. So here's some implant tools. And in the questions, you can change the rubric for the questions. So are you happy with the results? For instance, you can add some tips in, so focusing on the implant. You can add as many questions as you want and remove them. And then when you get to the export, just put the example name of whatever it is you want. So I'm going to do implant example, click save, and then you'll see it's compiling everything. So the visual image, the haptics, the STL, the DICOM, everything there. And then once this completes, I'll show it to you. So cdl.hrv data exercises. So data exercises, and ours was called implant example. So there it is. In the contents, you can see the images we had. And then the data, you see here we've got the full DICOM scan, so there's 377 slices. We've got an SLD, which is with the haptics, the segmentations in NRRD, and then we've got the surface STL as well. So you'll be able to use that on your 3D printers, export it all free of charge, no problem at all. So thank you for your time. Enjoy Virteasy Dental, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.